So she takes the kids. They had 3 kids at this time. So 5 years have passed and she's over it. She doesn't want to be death number 2 and married to a black widow. So she takes off, takes with the kids,
Hmm.
and divorces them. The original wife's murder has never been solved. And somebody finally calls in after 5 years and says, "Oh my God, I know who that person is. It's this guy. And, I know where he is, and he's actually in jail." So the cops are all happy. They think they solved it. The guy's been a criminal pretty much in and out of jail most of his adult life.
Okay.
And they go and visit him and they do a little background check. And lo and behold, that guy was in jail the night Heidi was killed. Welcome back to Murder, Mayhem, and Mortgages. My name is Robbie,
I'm Chef.
and we are your real estate professionals leading you into the dark zone of real estate. You gotta love it. Imagine if Joanne Gaines was on Dead Files. I guess her name is Joanna, not Joe.
Unsolved mysteries.
Oh, yeah. How did she get that teal aqua vase? And then smash it over Chip's head.
So, what do you got for me today?
Okay, well, I'm going to take you back to 2010. If you recall, the mortgage meltdown occurred in 2008.
Mm-hmm.
Between 2008 and 2014, we had a historically large amount of foreclosures. So
Mhm.
in 2010, right, kind of smack dab in the midst, we have a very young couple, and it is Nick and Heidi Furcus. Now, this is a publicly known case scenario, and so we don't have to change the names for the guilty or the innocent on this one. But Nick and Heidi were just a young couple in love, trying to make things work out. They bought a house, their first house together. And apparently, it was in what you would call an up and coming neighborhood, I think is what they say when it's
Gentrifying.
being gentrified, but still there's some crime in the area and
Yeah.
active
So you mean
ongoing.
the ugly side of real estate where people on fixed incomes get pushed out of their houses so that they can build big mansions?
Yes. But Heidi and Nick weren't in the McMansion zone. I mean, they were just young kids trying to make a go at it, if you will. And so along came, and everybody thought they were fairly happy. Nick was primarily the person to pay the bills and the person to be the primary breadwinner. Everybody loved the couple. They were just a lovely couple by all accounts.
Mm-hmm.
Then one night, a 911 call was made out by Heidi saying that someone was breaking into their home.
Okay.
And about a minute later, Nick made a second 911 call saying that his wife had been shot and he had also been shot and she wasn't moving and the intruder had left. Okay. So arrive, here come the cops, and they do a quick investigation. He has to be taken to the hospital, and Heidi unfortunately didn't make it. So
Okay. Did they
Nick,
have any kids?
no, not at this
That's
time,
good.
no.
That's good.
So, terrible situation. Nobody likes it. But break-ins do happen. This was in St. Paul, Minnesota. So,
Okay.
in 2010, and it's a fairly quiet town. But
Did they
Nick,
ever catch the guy?
well, interestingly enough, not right away. But Nick wanted to help the police, and so he had an attorney. Weirdly enough, present immediately because first suspect is always the spouse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's always those closest to you.
So if I die, look at my wife. Okay. But anyway, so he, wants to be the willing and helpful spouse. He actually had an attorney kind of pulling him back and saying, "Don't be too helpful. They're going to start looking at you." The attorney, he goes, "But I can identify the man that broke into the house." And so the attorney arranges for an artist rendition to be procured. And it's a very specific rendition of an African American with a pockmarked face and wide eyes. And it's a very descriptive image. And so the police go after it and really chase after the episode. Now, they do ask about their marriage. And he said, "Well, we had kind of the normal troubles of bills and whatnot."
Mm-hmm.
And so
It's always
uh,
the finances.
it is always the finances. Ladies, Pay attention. Do not let the man just pay the bills and ignore it. No, you need to take an active participatory understanding of this. And this is a clear and evidentiary position as to why. Apparently, there have been some notices on possible problems with the finances on the mortgage. But Heidi turned to her man, standing by her man, and said, "Please take care of this." And he said, "Okay." So this is sort of like lies and videotape and murder. So moving forward, he professes his innocence and has no problem. And for years, the cops are actually looking specifically for this break in intruder. Now, interestingly enough, in that particular neighborhood, there were a rash of crimes of breaking and entering that matched the scenario that Nick had given them.
Huh.
So, guess what? They were looking for this criminal. So, off they go, moving forward. Nick meets a woman in no less than 90 days after his wife had passed away. Now, this kind of raised some
Well,
eyebrows,
yeah, that's pretty fast after your wife was murdered.
no doubt. And it turns out he went from foreclosure to no closure and wound up selling the house.
Oh.
So, interestingly enough, he was expected to be foreclosed on the following day. And yet that never happened. He was able to sell the home and move forward and actually wound up with a little bit of cash in his pocket.
Did he get life insurance or something?
I
Or
believe so, but I didn't find any direct
mm.
disclosures on that. So, anyway, he goes on to have a lovely relationship with this young woman, and she knew it was an awkward situation where the first wife had just recently passed away.
Hmm.
She also had just recently finished wrapping up a traumatic marriage herself, and she, was just wanting to kind of move forward.
A little trauma bonding going on.
Absolutely. So, moving forward, there's no solving of the crime, and within a year, the couple is married. Now, the new wife's name is, I believe, Rachel. Let me double check that. Yep, Rachel. So, Rachel said they had a great marriage. So, by all intents and purposes, everybody loved this couple again.
Hmm.
People raved about them. Everything was fine. But she noticed a few things, and it's an odd pattern. He started lying about some really seriously weird stuff, and she thought it was kind of odd. Well, and I can understand it. Now, ladies, again, listen to this. He'd say he ate at home, and then she'd find In N Out burger wrappers and packages
Like in his
in his
vehicle, or
vehicle. And he would lie about the strangest
that
stuff.
is really weird to lie about.
It is kind of bizarre, but he would lie about these almost innocent things that didn't make any sense to her.
Hmm.
And so as time carried on, she would notice these lies going more and more. Well, they bought another house. And the second house, this is the second house he's owned. And suddenly she finds a foreclosure notice because he hasn't paid the property taxes.
Hmm.
Now, he continues the lie and says, "Hey, don't worry about that. That's a mistake, blah, blah, blah." But the little hairs on the back of her neck start standing up, and she's like, "I am
Deja
not going to
vu.
be wife number two. Oh, no, not you." Okay, so moving forward, she decides, So she starts recording some conversations with her husband and realizes that over and over, he's lying about these tiny little incidental things and some big things, lying about bills and all
Hmm.
this stuff. So she takes the kids. They had 3 kids at this time. So 5 years have passed and she's over it. She doesn't want to be death number 2 and married to a black widow. So she takes off, takes with the kids
Hmm.
and divorces them. Okay? Well, all this time, the original wife's murder has never been solved. And yet, periodically, they showcase this image and this picture of this suspected break in guy who has killed his first wife.
Uh-huh.
And somebody finally calls in after 5 years and says, "Oh my god, I know who that person is. It's this guy, and, I know where he is, and he's actually in jail." So the cops are all happy. They think
Huh.
they solved it. The guy's been a criminal pretty much in and out of jail most of his adult life, and
Okay.
they go and visit him, and they do a little background check, and lo and behold, that guy was in jail the night Heidi was killed.
Oh. See, I thought you were gonna tell me that the husband was the one doing all the break-ins. because he
Right.
was broke.
Okay, right. You would think so. So this is not a Mad Men. What is the guy on Mad Men? John. Who's the guy on Mad Men? Yeah, Don Draper. Okay, but John Hamm has a new show called The Neighbor where he breaks in. It's not that episode. Okay, just not that episode. All right, but here's the thing. So all of a sudden, this guy is like, ooh, it was the husband. And then he goes back and talks to the first original investigator. And he's like, yeah, I always thought so. It's just something didn't quite add up. And so lo and behold, this case has been passed down. And now this guy, who's the active detective on the case,
Huh.
it's a cold case at this point, and he gets promoted and he has to hand it off to a fourth detective.
Oh gosh.
But this one, ladies, listen up. This detective is a female detective. And you know what? You cannot get by a female detective because she will figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
So here it is. This guy has 2 foreclosures and one dead ex-wife and one
That
active
ran.
ex-wife that ran, and suddenly there's a divorce case. So she's like, you know what? I am going to call and find out from this ex-wife what the deal is. And the ex-wife's like, yeah, I have videotape. And she's like handing it over to the detective, and the detective is reviewing all the case files and all the evidence. And she goes back to the original murder scene and looking at all the pictures.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, so they were supposed to be closed on and evicted the very next day. Why didn't Heidi ever pack any clothes?
Huh.
If you were supposed to be evicted, if you
She didn't
knew you were
know.
going to be evicted, wouldn't you pack your
She
shit
didn't know.
and be ready? She had no idea. This guy had lied about it. Now, here's the crazy part. His friends swear up and down. They're like, no, this dude's good. He's a great dad. He loves to fish. He's a really nice dude. He just happens to kill a couple of people. No, I'm just kidding. I'm adding that part just for my own humor. But no, legitimately, they are still standing up and saying this dude's innocent. And yet the cops are like, no, baby, no, he's just a creepy motherfucker that lies all the time and doesn't pay his bills.
Yeah.
Ladies, pay attention. What the fuck was that? That little noise. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Anyway, creepy noises happening on the set.
Ooh.
So anyway, no, seriously, ladies, pay attention. Don't let your man lie. And if you catch him in lies, make sure he's paying the bills. And if he's not paying the bills, get the fuck out of there because you could wind up like Heidi.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
my goodness.
crazy.
It is kind of crazy. But it's all about videotape lies and a little bit of murder and foreclosures.
Well, I've got some good stuff for you today, too.
Oh, by the way, he was convicted of the crime and is sitting in jail while his friends profess his innocence to this day.
Well, you just never really know anybody, and I think everybody is capable of stuff like that.
You know, that kind of frightens me because I am married. And apparently, if you are married, that's like 70% likely the person that's going to kill you. And I was talking to my wife about this. We were joking around because we were prepping for the podcast and whatnot. And I'm like, if you're ever going to, like kill me, just put a 6-pack of Shiner so somebody comes looking for me. Just put it on my chest. And she goes, as if I would use a shovel. And I'm like, wait a minute. You fucking thought about this?
I mean, are you really married if you hadn't thought about it at least once?
Oh my God. Right? Oh Lord. I'm not going to break a sweat knocking your ass off the boat. Like, what the hell?
Well,
Oh,
mine may not be as exciting, but I was gonna talk about killer open houses.
ooh.
You know,
Tell me more.
being a real estate agent can be pretty dangerous sometimes. I even had a couple close scares when I was actively selling real estate, and one was actually at an open house. I was hosting an open house. I decided to have this taco open house because I mean, who doesn't like tacos in Texas or
I would
just
make it to that.
in general? And so this guy, he sees me putting out the signs and everything, and he's like, "Oh, can I have a taco?" Blah blah blah. I said, "Sure, you can come by the open house, no problem."
Gentlemen, there's no creepier line than got tacos. Don't use that for a pickup line.
So I go back to the house. I start setting up, and this guy comes in. Very obviously not interested in the house. Um, didn't even really seem that interested in the tacos. And so,
He might be interested in the tatas.
at least not the tacos I brought.
Oh, wow. I think we got off topic. What about the open house?
Well, I started getting like a really creepy feeling from him, and thankfully, my partner showed up. He was notorious, always running late, but he showed up just in time. As soon as he got there, the guy left immediately because he was not interested in the house. But it just, was a really scary moment, and it made me think about other scenarios where this might have happened, and there's actually several.
Ooh.
So, realtor safety is important. If you don't have a pew pew, you should get one because you just never know.
Or
And
just get some bear spray because that sprays them at 25 feet.
yeah, but then you risk spraying yourself and then it's just mayhem.
That's true.
But also another tip for you agents out there, always walk in behind your clients. Never let them walk in behind you. So now that we're done with the realtor safety tips, let's get down to the murder open houses or killer open houses, I should say. So the first one happened in Arizona in 2015. There was a young couple hosting their own open house. They were doing it for sale by owner. And there was a prospective buyer that came in. He started asking questions. He was being polite, wandered around, and then he attacked them with a firearm.
Oh,
Obviously, they died, and I'm not sure what happened to the guy. There wasn't really much more to the story after that. Um, but the other one that had happened was in Texas in 2018. And this one is actually a real estate agent. It happened to a real estate agent. And she was showing a property alone, and an armed intruder followed her in. And she actually escaped thanks to a neighbor who noticed something suspicious outside. But had the neighbor not intervened, she would just be another realtor that's lost her life just trying to do her job. Because being a real estate agent can be a pretty dangerous job if you think about it. You're meeting random people in a vacant house, and half the time nobody even knows you're there, where you're at, because you know, you're just a target for that reason. So it can be pretty dangerous. But I will say one of the most famous ones happened in California in 2006. And it was a prospective buyer that murdered the homeowner inside of the kitchen and then fled. The murder shocked the local community, and it raised a lot of questions about, the nature of being a real estate agent and how dangerous it can be, and what can be done to either enact laws or um, encourage agents about the safety of what they do and how to protect themselves from stuff like this. So, there's been a lot of cases of this happening. I'm sure we'll hear more in the future because people are crazy. And so
I believe actually there are a couple of nonprofit agencies that have been started since then that actually are promoting real estate agency
mhm.
safety.
Yeah, they have a real estate agent safety course. I actually took that early on
Okay.
in my career, but definitely even over the 13 years that I've been an agent, there's been a few situations that have gotten a little scary, and I'm really happy that nothing ever happened to me personally, but you just never know. I mean, anything can happen to anyone, but in certain situations like that where you're inviting strangers into a secluded area, like you're it's like you are in the van ready to be kidnapped,
Oh my God.
so to
So
speak.
absolutely. I mean, like it is a frightening situation and it is a serious situation
Mhm.
where realtors, if you are planning on hosting an open house, there's nothing wrong with asking your chaos ridden loan officer to come out and support you at those open houses.
Yes,
Or
partner
your
up.
other partners, perhaps title partners, to come and showcase and just be present if you don't have another real estate partner to be present.
Mhm.
And then, of course, you can actually always have someone know your location,
Yes.
but that only goes so far as the phone. So if the phone gets left behind, you can also low jack, for instance, in your shoe. You can put the Apple tiles inside your shoe to actually
I
make sure.
actually think they make jewelry and stuff now with
Yes,
trackers and too. So yeah, I mean all that stuff is helpful certainly.
absolutely. We'd love to, if the jewelry maker of that jewelry wanted to be a sponsor for this podcast to protect future agents
Yes.
for sure.
It's always good idea to partner up, but just as the case of the couple that was in Arizona, I mean, it was two of them and it still happened. So Sometimes you just never know.
And on top of that, just as a personal item, I host a safety course with realtors every single year. And so we run it for free. I actually pay for the event
That's cool. I didn't know that.
and love it and want to support. So we don't always get a whole lot of participation in it because it is a Saturday morning course, and that's usually when open houses are there.
Hmm.
But if you are an agent, take an MMA class, a self defense class, any kind of thing so that you can protect yourself. Because as much as we joke about it here on this podcast, it is a serious business. We
Yes.
know that you have to have these open houses to showcase your properties. We understand that, but it is also very important to keep safety number one. So, with that in mind, we do want to showcase a couple of local entities that actually are nonprofits that help support real estate agents and their safety.
We'll drop some links down in the comment section.
Absolutely. And with that, let's rate it out and get out of here. Man, on mayhem and murder, it's just a sad case on yours. I'm sorry, but solid fours on both the murder and the mayhem. There was no mortgage shit involved, so I'm sorry. Loan officer got a zero. But I mean, it
Had the loan officer been there, maybe.
had the loan officer been there and been a superhero, you would have gotten some points. So
And then for yours, I would do. Oh gosh, you got all the good ones. I'd do
I dove deep into
I
the
would do
realms.
fives across the board because I mean we have the murder of the wife because of the foreclosure.
Two foreclosures, not just one,
Yes.
and the lies, which add to the
And
mayhem.
yep, I'll say that's where the mayhem comes in and thankfully luckily the second one got away cuz
Yeah.
you
Women's
know,
intuition. Listen to it, ladies.
yes, she certainly could have ended up in a bad situation herself.
So, man, we had some good PSAs for our watchers and viewers today. Ladies, don't listen to the lies, and realtors, safety first.
Yes.
So, this was another version of Murder, Mayhem, and Mortgages, where real estate may be chaos, but sometimes if you avoid the serial killer and don't follow in with, can you come see my
Thank you for
dark
joining us
dungeon?
today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have your own personal stories, be sure to email them to us. The link will be below.
Of course. And you can always check out our website where you can buy some swag.